Hello once again. We are on a roll. We're going to do 2 videos today, I hope. Imagine this thought, and we were talking about this the other day, Mike and I from Precisioncolors, of course. The thought that if your printer runs on only original inks, does it last longer than if you're running on third-party systems, assuming your printer, of course, is able to do that? I immediately thought, of course, OEM, my printer will last longer. Wrong. It depends on the printer. Right now, you must be in shock listening to what Jose just stated. But the fact is still, no, your printer running on original inks will actually last less than one running on refillable cartridges, if that's the case, or cartridges that you can modify and refill. Why would that be true? Take the Pro-100, for instance. We know how to modify those cartridges. We know how to refill them. We have the ability to flush them if necessary. How could they possibly help my printer last longer than a printer running strictly on OEM? Think about that. Let that sink in for a second here. I'll give you a minute. You try to come up with a reason why that would hold true. All right, I didn't give you a minute, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you the actual reason why. When you're running OEM, you're replacing one cartridge at a time. Remember how I'm always preaching complete swaps of cart sets? And that can only be done, really, unless you're a trillionaire, that can only be done when you are refilling. You have 2 sets of cartridges, always full, always reset. When one goes low, you remove that set, you pop the new set in, close the lid, it runs 1 purge or priming cycle. When you're switching 1 cartridge at a time and you have an 8 color channel system, you're going to run 8 purge cycles. And that happens 8 times more often than when you are changing 1 full set at a time. See why I promote that idea? Okay? So think about this. You're generating in a Pro-100 8 times more waste ink when you are using nothing but OEM and exchanging 1 cartridge at a time. That's what happens. Every time you exchange yellow, put a new yellow, close the lid, a global priming or purge cycle takes place. Ink from all of the cartridges is used to reprime that printhead, whether it needed it or not. So you have wasted ink unnecessarily on the other 7 colors. And guess what? One of those cartridges may have been almost empty. When you close the lid, you generate that purge cycle, and that little bit of ink that was left is now gone. It has been wasted. And that cartridge now is empty and needs to be replaced. You remove that magenta cartridge, you put a brand new magenta cartridge, close the lid. Again, another purge cycle. You see what I'm getting at here? Okay? It's a yo-yo or domino effect. Okay? You'll be doing this very often. And the more you print, the more this will happen. So by exchanging a complete set, say you are refilling, you start from new. Remember when your printer was brand new, how long it took you to reach empty on any of those colors? Regardless of the printer, it took you quite a while. So if every time you need to exchange 1 cartridge, you replace all of them, and that can only be economically done when you are refilling. Of course, you cannot do that with OEM. You cannot replace half full OEMs with full ones. That would be very wasteful. So again, it is true, absolutely true, that your printer will last a heck of a lot longer because you are delaying the full saturation of those internal waste ink pads. On an EPSON printer that has cartridges that write on the printhead, that will happen. But on an EPSON printer, I can bypass that. I can send it to the outside via a tube. Not so on a Canon Pro-10, Canon Pro-100. You can't do that. At least I haven't been able to figure out a way to do that. So those printers are vulnerable to a much shorter lifespan if I do not choose to refill. Okay? Simply because I have to replace each cartridge one at a time. Unfortunately, the Pro 1, nothing you can do about that one, folks, because it is a stationary cartridge printer. So my theory applies only to printers with cartridges that write on the print head. And on top of that, they have to be able to be refillable. Okay, that's the only way you can make this work. You can extend the life of your printer, assuming mechanical problems do not arise. The internal waste pads will probably last you, in the case of a Pro 100, 8 times longer. Pro 10, 10 times longer, because you are not generating 10 cycles in a given period. You're only generating 1. Keep that in mind. I hope that kind of, makes that little light bulb turn on. Okay. We thought about that and we thought we were laughing at ourselves. And then we realized, wait a minute, we shouldn't be really laughing at ourselves, because this makes absolute sense. All right. Not so on this. Okay. This is a different animal. Not so on the Pro 1, because again, it's stationary cartridges and they don't have internal wasting pads. They have user replaceable cartridges you can just replace when needed. The same thing with a P800, the same thing with the new P900 as well. All righty. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Yeah, it was interesting to discuss this. And there'll be many more little tidbits like this for future videos. So thank you again so much. Again, I am back. I'm going to have a second surgery in about a week and a half. So, depending how it goes, that will determine my frequency, if you will, of producing videos. We'll definitely have the live stream this weekend. We're going to have Mike and Andrew from Qimage live with us. So make sure you attend that live stream, okay? If you are a Qimage user at all, make sure you are there. By the way, I have some affiliate links for purchasing Qimage at a 10% discount worldwide. And they are available on my Facebook group. It's an announcement right on the top. And I will put them on all of my video descriptions from now on. So make sure you buy Qimage through my link. That way you help me continue to do what I do. Okay? And you will get 10% off on top of it anyway, which you will not get if you use the link on their website. All right? Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. And as always, happy printing, everybody. Bye-bye.